This is a drill that I call the close the window drill, but on steroids. Now, if you've been following my stuff for any period of time, you know that I put out a drill called the close the window drill, where you get up to the top of the swing, and that gap between my right arm and my body, as we start to shift our weight to our lead side, is going to start to close up really quickly. A lot of you at home see a gigantic window as soon as you start down, because you start firing the club from your right shoulder and your right arm, and it comes out through your hands. And when you start that process, you're not going to be able to stop. When you start that process, your right shoulder is going to drop back, you're going to start to rotate harder, and it's going to make it almost impossible for you to slow the body down and release the club with speed down here where it matters the most. If you did release the club like that, you would hit it left of the planet. And nobody wants to hit it left of the planet. You know what I'm saying? So this drill is going to be broken up into 3 pieces. And if you get these 3 pieces married together and you create a good visual and a good feel around these 3 movements, then you're going to be able to go out there and start working on this stuff today, and you're going to start feeling what it's like to move with efficiency for the first time in your golfing lives. Oh yeah, do me a huge favor. If you are brand new to the channel, and before I start going any further into this drill and showing you that you can do this with your driver, head down below and make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post that up. I'll help you out as best I possibly can. Hit the thumbs up button. Now let's get to work. What I want to teach you here first is getting you an understanding of what your shoulders and your arms should be doing in the golf swing, okay? Your arms have minimal function. Your arms simply elevate and they flex. And the wrists will have a small amount of rotation and a small amount of wrist set. The shoulders are going to get turned by your core. That's right. Your shoulders are getting turned somewhere in the ballpark of 90 degrees from here. And a lot of you make the fatal mistake of trying to move the golf club primarily from your lead arm or your trail arm, and you start pushing that club back and around your body. And what that does is it starts to load up the muscles in your shoulder girdle and makes it really hard for you to make a full turn, but it also has adverse effects in your downswing. It allows your arms to start firing too quickly in the sequence, which in turn makes a disaster. So I want you to think about this first component as being your arms getting into an elevated position and starting to work on the exact opposite of that. And a good way to start to feel this first step is to go ahead and grab your favorite 7-iron from your bag, and you could do this drill with any club in your bag, and I'll demonstrate that as we get further in. And I want you to go up to the top of your golf swing, and I want you to stop. Now, without moving your shoulders and without moving your arms, I just want you to simply bring your hands straight down towards your right hip. And what you're going to notice is that my shoulders went from this sort of shrugged position and kind of a protracted position into a very down and depressed position, or a neutral position. And that's a good position for you to be in, because now your scapulars are back and connected to your big muscles. But what you'll also feel is that anything that you had supporting the arms up there, your hands, triceps, biceps, shoulders, everything feels relaxed. That movement is going to be happening at the same time as you start shifting your weight, which is what we're going to add to the mix now. So I want you to think about that downward movement from the top of the swing as closing the window. So you're going to feel this right arm, kind of your right tricep area, move kind of into your rib cage. And you're going to do that at the same time as you start to shift your weight over to your lead foot. Now, if you focus on the weight moving to your lead ankle, that's going to allow the hips to start to naturally unwind. So we're going to do about 10 to 15 reps where we go up to the top of the swing, and we start to lower our arms towards our right hip, and we shift our weight to our left ankle. So you're going to notice my hands are right around hip high here at this point. My right elbow is kind of stuck in behind my body here. That right there is the big move that I want a lot of you to get right. If you get that movement right, you've now set the tone for the rest of the release pattern to start to come to light. And this is going to be a very simple thing for you to kind of grab a hold of if you just understand that I want you to use your right hip and your right leg to help keep things moving through the hitting area. That's right. Imagine that, huh? I have you using the trail side of your body here to make this movement happen. So what I want you to do now is I want you to learn the third component. So you're going to go up to the top of your swing. Okay? You're going to start to lower your arms and shift. And now you have that right elbow kind of back in behind your body. And all I want you to do is I want you to take this right hip and this right knee, and I want you to start to turn it in front of the golf ball about 45 degrees. Now what you're going to see when I put this all together is up to the top, close the window and shift, turn the right hip open. Look at how much angle I have here. I have way too much angle. I would never be able to manage that much. But remember, the downswing is happening in less than a quarter of a second. So you want to train this in kind of slow, choppy, chunky environments at first. Isolate, learn the arm functions, how independent they are from the shoulders. Get your weight shifting, and then start using your right hip. And we're gonna start to blend this together as we go forward. So here's how I want you to do it. And you can follow along. Load up to the top. Bring your arms down, bring them back up. Do the same thing, but shift to the left ankle. Turn the hip so it's 45 degrees open. And now you're in a position to be able to let it release. I want you to start trying to do this a little bit quicker. Close the window and shift. Turn the right hip. Let it release. Close the window, shift, turn the right hip, release. You're keeping your arms as relaxed as you can, you're supporting the club. Now, when you start getting good at these, and you can feel it, and you know that it's working for you, because that right hip is helping you move the arms out in front of you, it's helping bring the golf club into that really good delivery position, what do you think I want you to do? Well, I want you to start trying to make some swings, but doing this at a speed where if you're a 6-gear transmission, you're taking a gear out of it. So what it's gonna look like is this. So up to the top. So I'm not going kamikaze speed here, I'm just trying to stay as connected to the movements. I'm closing the window, I'm shifting, and I'm letting it release. I'm closing the window, I'm turning that right hip, opening it up, and then I'm making sure that I'm just letting the club swing. When you get really good at it, okay, now you've got a real swing. Go ahead and put it to the test and see how you do. Okay? So now, as I said, this drill will also work with your driver. Take your driver, same exact protocol, and all you're trying to do is understand the movements, create some connection to it, and follow this pathway. So up to the top, close the window and shift, turning my hip open, letting it release. Gonna try to do a practice swing where I put it together. Okay, felt pretty good. So there you have it, a simple drill that helps you do some of the things in your golf swing that you didn't know that you were capable of doing. Shoulder and arm tension is the killer. Thinking that your arms lead the way is the killer. Get your arms to be tension-free. Learn how to keep your shoulders wound and let them just start moving. Your legs and your hips are gonna start doing a whole lot more, and you're gonna be a much happier golfer when it's all said and done. We'll see you guys in the next video.